Dozens of women met at the Hilton Garden Inn today for an annual business luncheon. Several women gave their stories and lessons on how to build success through perseverance and passion.
One of the speakers was Dana Krishke, who is a mother of 7 and co-owner of several businesses, including Sugar Jones.